Hi, I'm Leon Reznik, and I'm presenting my new book, Intelligent Security Systems, How Artificial Intelligence, Machine Learning, and Data Science Work for and Against Computer Security. It was published this year by Wiley IEEE Press, and this is part 2 of my presentation. Please refer to part 1 to start with, and in this part, I will be talking about book structure. As you see, the book consists of 6 major chapters, which are further subdivided into segments. The first chapter presents the current situation in computer security and intelligent areas. It tries to talk about both computer security, AI, machine learning, and data science, and how they can work together. And to do that, I'm trying to present basic concepts, taxonomy, and classification of all those approaches. Then I'm moving to firewalls design, intrusion detection systems, anti-malware software, which are basic mechanisms and systems which are currently used widely in computer security. There are major mechanisms of computer security, and all of them employ artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science techniques. In chapter 5, we are looking at the behavioral characteristics of hackers versus normal users. Talk about how to differentiate one from another. And finally, chapter 6, introducing a new area of adversarial machine learning. Now, I'm going to talk a bit more about each chapter. But before we move there, if you need more information, if you want to see the full table of content, and by the way, you can read the first chapter for free, you're very welcome to go to Wiley website. The link is there, and I will provide it in the comments too. Chapter 1 is about computer security with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science combination. We are trying to see the origin of those major concepts of computer security, and I hope the reader will be able to understand and use professional terminology in this field, and at the same time understand the links between computer security and artificial intelligence. And as a first exercise of employing those links in practice, I want to present computer security, how it has been developed through time. Then the student can try to employ their skills and knowledge in AI, trying to predict what's going to happen with computer security and AI in the future. Start with computer security definition. We consider computer security as a combination of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Then we'll talk a bit about cyber attacks, and again, we'll try to consider them from the historical perspective, and then try to classify them. Then we'll review basic security mechanisms and concept, and talk a bit about future development and cybersecurity too. Finally, in the second part of this chapter, we are going to talk about AI, machine learning, and data science, and how they could be used in computer security. We attempt to classify and differentiate between those AI, machine learning, and data science techniques too. Module 2 is about firewall design and implementation. The major question which we are trying to address, how to configure knowledge for the first line of defense, which firewalls are considered to be. I want to develop some knowledge and practical skills on firewall design and their analysis. I want the reader to be able to understand firewall functions, able to classify them into various groups, and at the same time, understand how to design them. And I want to teach the students how to design good systems. It means that the students and the readers should be able to differentiate between good firewall design and not so good firewall design. So we are talking about firewall performance and its evaluation. And again, we start with definitions, history, functionalities of typical firewalls. Then we move to design and implementation recommendations, and then we consider some popular firewall designs and tools which could be used to design firewalls as production rules AI systems. Because again, in this chapter, we are trying to promote approach to firewall design through an application of AI techniques and in particular production rules. Module 3 is about intrusion detection, and the major question, why do we need them and what do they do beyond the first line of defense? And again, we'll start with terminology. We'll be talking about different machine learning techniques which are used in IDS design. We will spend a lot of time on talking about performance evaluation of IDS. And finally, we'll be talking about IDS tools, how they're built, and maybe how to build new ones, which could be even better. Module 4 is about malware and vulnerabilities detection and protection. And again, we are talking about using pattern recognition approach to design malware detection and vulnerability detection. And again, we are talking about some classification of malware, certain terminology and examples, and then we move towards vulnerabilities and trying to explain what is the difference between the malware and the vulnerability. And then we are considering some historical examples and some malware detection tools, malware incident responses too. Module 5, hacker versus normal users. And the major question to address here is how to differentiate between them. We are going to use certain behavioral characteristics, then employ artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science tools, trying to understand who we are dealing with. Is it a normal user behavior or is it a hacker's attack? We'll start with some attacks examples and review of typical hackers' activities, and then we'll study of typical hacker behavior and profiling and analysis techniques. And finally, we'll move towards using tools and protection techniques against hackers' attacks. And our last chapter is about adversarial machine learning. And the major question which we are trying to address here, who is machine learning working for? And it's very hard to answer this question because actually machine learning techniques could be used for computer security enhancement, for protecting our information systems, but unfortunately it could be used to attack our information systems too. We are going to look at definition of adversarial machine learning, what is that? And then consider taxonomy of attacks, and we're going to use certain characteristics and materials available which produced by government agencies, first of all, National Institute of Technology, and then we'll try to classify possible adversarial attacks, their time and place, and try to design certain defense strategy. Then we are providing the description of a couple of use cases to introduce our new knowledge into practice. And finally, we are going to talk about a new technique, generative adversarial networks, which again could be used for attacks, but for protection of our systems too. That's my plan. Thank you very much for your attention so far. Please give me your feedback. If you're watching it on YouTube, please click on like, provide some comments. Please contact me any way you want. Of course, if you want to buy my book, please go to the Wiley website. You can find more information about the table of contents, the full text of this first chapter, and you can buy it from there or from any other bookseller. Thank you once again, and I hope to continue these presentations, so please give me your feedback. Thank you.